Hey guys, Chicago injury lawyer Scott DeSalvo here, driving into work early morning on a Saturday, or well, I guess it's Sunday today. Driving in early to catch up on paperwork. The paperwork never stops when you're a lawyer. Um, so, the topic of today's video that I wanted to talk to you about is what is the biggest case you ever handled? So, why am I talking to you about that? Well, I talked to a guy I handled a case for a while back, probably about a year. Sorry, gotta move the microphone, it's hitting my chin. Handled a case for a guy a couple years ago, and it was a small case, and he was really nervous, and we talked a lot, and not a big case. It was a smaller case, but like I talk about on my channel all the time, I take the small ones. I like the big ones, but I take the small ones because I'm in it to help people. And so he reached out to me, about a couple years after that first case, and called me up, left me a message. He called my 312 500 4500 number, which is the number to call with. Sometimes people think they should call me directly at the office with a new case or a referral. It's actually better if you do it to 312 500 4500, because even if I'm working at home getting ready for a trial or doing legal writing where I need quiet, no interruptions from the staff, or even if it's on a weekend, for example, I called this guy back on a weekend, but he told me, like, he felt awkward. He's like, oh, well, I hired another lawyer and my case has been going on for about a year. And, I'm worried because this is my life. You know, this is my future. I might not be able to recover from the injuries here. And my lawyer just won't talk to me. My lawyer won't discuss anything with me. Um, And when I talk to him, I just feel like he's not listening to what I'm telling him at all. And I told him, I tell him what I tell everybody who calls me. I get a lot of people who call me who started out with a TV guy or a big, whatever, some dude in the neighborhood, refer them to somebody, and they become dissatisfied with the representation or the lawyer's attitude or whatever. I mean, this is what I'll tell you. I do spend more time answering questions and making sure people understand what's going on in the process than any lawyer I know. And it's sure it probably has to do with why I became a lawyer. I'm not going to rehash that story. um, Reader's Digest version is my father was catastrophically injured um, when I was about 9 years old, and he had a really bad relationship with his lawyer. And, at the end of it, his lawyer tried to take half of the case. Um, and, they went to court, and it was a really negative thing. And I got to see the frustration firsthand. So, that's why I do it, because people need it and people deserve it. So, so we're talking, and I tell this guy the same thing I tell everybody. I'm like, look, buddy, your lawyer has the file. Hopefully, he has the medical records. Hopefully, he's engaged in your case and knows what your case is about and remembers your case and is giving you good advice. Um, but I can't give you legal advice on a case that I'm not the lawyer on because I don't know the file. The number one thing is you don't want to take my advice if I haven't even looked at your file. There could be details or facts in there that you don't know, or that the guy tried to explain to you that you're not really understanding what the implications are. I can talk to you generally about how the law works, but I can't really um, countermand anything that your lawyer told you or tell you what the next steps are, because I'm not your lawyer. The other thing is it's ethical. There's an ethical issue. I'm not going to interfere with your attorney client relationship with your lawyer, and your lawyer's the one who's going to get paid. So you need to call your lawyer, and this is what I tell everybody. If you're unhappy with your lawyer and you're not getting answers, you got to call them and say, I want a face to face or at least a Zoom meeting, and I want you to explain it to me so I understand it. See, I don't think, unless you don't want to know, unless you're, a stubborn person, and if you think you keep saying no, then the lawyer's answer is going to change. There are people like that out there. But if you're an average person who doesn't know what's going on and you want your lawyer to explain it, listen, your lawyer may not have the patience for it, but they have the ability to explain all of this stuff in terms that anyone can understand. Because I do it every day, even on the complex cases. So, any rate, Reader's Digest version, he was telling me the problems with the case, and I told him, to try and repair the relationship with his attorney. And he's like, no, I want to change lawyers. I want you to be my lawyer. And I'm like, uh, if it's your independent decision that you want me to be your lawyer, I would still rather call your lawyer and see what the problem is and see if we can't smooth it over. No, I don't want you to call them. If you don't want the case, I got to start calling other people. I'm like, all right, I'll think about it. I really, I want him to think about it. But, you know, once somebody tells me that they're going to fire their old lawyer, no matter what, that's, and if I don't take the case, they're going to hire somebody else to take the case, then that's pretty much it, right? So, anyway, long story short, I digress, as I often do. I guess lawyer was the right career for me because I never use 20 words when 2,000 will suffice, right? Um, Reader's Digest is, he made a comment like, yeah, I know you handled that other case for me, but, this is a big one. And my friend in the neighborhood told me that this other guy was like the best lawyer. And then that lawyer signed up my case and referred me to another lawyer. And, I know you handled that little case for me, but, this was a big one and this is my future. So I needed to make sure I got a lawyer who could do it. And boy, I will tell you, that really made me angry. That really made me angry. Uh, I I have handled, well. I'll tell you about the biggest case I handled. I didn't tell him all this, but you know I had a jury trial on a case with where I got a jury verdict of $6.2 million, and the guy was paralyzed in a wheelchair, and I tried it solo. I've tried, I don't even remember how many cases I've tried at this point because I lost count. It's a lot. And arbitrations, mediations, contested hearings, depositions, thousands of injury cases. Now that my reputation in the legal community is pretty solid and insurance companies know when they receive anything from me, it's the highest quality. And I guess maybe people don't expect that because I run a small shop. Um, I guess they think if you're a law firm of 20 lawyers or 40 lawyers or 12 lawyers, they're going to get better representation. But I will take the Pepsi challenge on my work product against any attorney in the country. I'll try a case and I'll put my trial skills up against anyone in the country. And so I walk a little bit of a different career path. I'm a working class guy at heart, and I'm always going to be a working class guy at heart. But I have handled many $1 million cases. I have handled many 6-figure cases, and I'm good at it. And so I think sometimes people like watch my videos and I'll tell a story about somebody with a smaller case, or you don't see me in a $5,000 suit every day. I do own them. I don't wear them all the time because I'm more comfortable in regular clothes. And I'd rather meet people on a regular basis where there's not this power dynamic where I'm way up here and they're way down here. I like to have a nice, friendly, familial relationship with my clients, and I don't like doing anything. I don't like to pull rank on my clients. I don't like to yell at my clients. I don't like to dress in a fancy suit and $600 shoes around my clients when I'm meeting them, because I want my clients to feel comfortable around me and I want them to know they can trust me. So I think the downside of staying independent when everybody else joined a firm, the downside of being a regular person who just explains things, and probably this is what all people think. If you're a big shot lawyer, you don't have time for anybody. And so if you're a big shot lawyer, you handle the big shot cases and you don't have time to explain to regular people about their regular small cases. And I'm going to tell you, I know some guys who are big shot lawyers and they put their pants on one leg at a time, just like everybody else. So, really, I guess this is video therapy for me. I was really upset about it. And I told him, like, buddy, listen, I handled that case for you. And we probably had, what, a dozen or 15 conversations where I explained the entire process start to finish for you, even though I knew it was a small case, just so you know. You can hire anyone you want to on any case you get. But just so you know, I'm not a small case lawyer. I'm not some neighborhood guy who signs up, you know, low end back strain cases and just begs the insurance company for a settlement. That's not who I am. That's not the kind of lawyer I am. And I can understand why people might think that. But I'm here to tell you I know how to try a case and I know how to handle substantial cases. And uh, I certainly don't want you to say, well, my case is crappy and I've only got $2,000 in medical bills, so I'll call DeSalvo. But if God forbid I have a serious injury, I'm going to call someone else. That's not why I'm a lawyer. That's not why I do it. I help people who are seriously injured the same way that I help people with middling injuries, the same way I teach and explain to people with smaller injuries, because that's the way, whether you got a big injury, medium injury, small injury, you're a human being. You deserve dignity. You deserve respect. You deserve an attorney who respects you, that if you have a question, they'll pick up the phone and talk to you. So it just, it's a very competitive market in Chicago. We've got, at least three large law firms from out of state in here and a bunch of smaller law firms in here advertising. I've heard stories about doctors' offices who are financing attorneys' marketing programs and venture capitalists who are in here, like setting up lead generation companies to, soak up all the business and control it to make a profit off it. And so it's becoming more and more competitive. And that just makes me more and more um, my desire to remain independent, remain my own man, so I can represent people the way I want to represent them and have the relationship with people that I want to have, makes my resolve to do that even stronger. But I can only do that when people refer me cases, and it can't just all be the low end stuff. But obviously, you should do what you think is right for your case, and you should refer it to whomever you feel like you can trust. Whomever is going to pick up the phone, whoever has the knowledge and experience in the business to handle cases the right way for you. Um, I will tell you this, with the uptick of the giant firms that just sign up the cases, evaluate them, and refer them out to other lawyers for handling, or the giant companies that just buy and sell leads, I am telling you, I get a million phone calls from people who start with those companies and they've called their lawyer 6 times. The lawyer won't call them back. They don't even know who their lawyer is. In many of these situations, they've never even spoken with their lawyer. Somebody told them who the lawyer assigned to their case is. They've called and emailed to try and get a status or talk to their actual lawyer, and they can never reach anybody. And that causes them to reach out to real lawyers, like lawyers who actually represent clients and aren't part of just some big conglomerate that signs up cases. And, you know, putatively, there's a lawyer at the head of the company or somewhere under whose license they do all this. But the model for a lot of those places is case managers. They have usually low paid overseas workers who oversee the cases, but they're not lawyers, they're not even American paralegals. Many of them are not even American legal secretaries. Or what they'll do is they'll hire entry level people who want to become office workers in the United States, pay them the bare minimum, give them virtually no training, and tell them, here's 100 cases, those are your 100 cases. Um, you're responsible for them. Don't bother the lawyer. Is that a good way to represent an injured person with questions? Well, I think you know my answer. Anyway, the bottom line is I've handled some substantial cases and I'm always open for business. I've got a bunch of substantial cases in my office now. Um, I know how to handle them, I do a good job on them. And no, I am not just a small case lawyer. In fact, if all I was is a small case lawyer, I'd go out of business because I sometimes lose money helping people in those cases. But the reason I do it is they need help because nobody else is helping them and nobody else is explaining things to them. And that's also why I run this channel, and that's why I shoot videos and track the comment section for topics on new videos and stuff like that so that I can help people. That's part of what you're supposed to do ethically as an attorney when you're in this profession. And that's how I try and do it. So, anyway, sorry if this became a bitch and moan session or it became you know, therapy session for Attorney Scott. But, it's important for people on this channel to know that I've been around a while and I've been involved in substantial cases. So if you've got a substantial case, I'd be happy to talk to you, just like if you have a little case, just like if you have a middle of the road case, just like if you don't even know how big your case is. I am always happy to talk to you. I'm always happy to answer your questions, even if you don't have a case or you have a case I can't take. So anyway, if you or a loved one has been hurt and you need a free consultation, you can call me anytime, day or night, 312 500 4500. If you're not ready to talk to a lawyer, you know those two cool tools I have on my website, links in the description. One is the case cash calculator, tells you what your case might be worth. And the good case calculator, do I have a good case or a case with some challenges? The two cool things about both of those calculators is they're absolutely free on my website, no obligation. That's number one. Number two is they literally take 10 or 15 seconds to do, and you get answers to your questions. No lawyer to talk to, no hassle, quick and easy. You don't need all your paperwork organized because they're general questions, but they do really give awesome information. Links in the description. If you enjoyed my video, please like and subscribe. And if you enjoy my videos and you wouldn't mind doing me a favor, I'm going to leave a link in the description where you can give me a 5-star review on Google. All you do is go to the web address, the URL, cut and paste it into your phone, tablet, or PC, and it takes you right to the page. Click 5 stars, say a kind word, hit submit. 5 seconds for you, but invaluable for me. So once again, I promise the rest of my videos won't be me complaining. Sometimes people just say things that get to you. You know what I mean? And I would hate for people watching these videos or current or former clients to think, oh, well, Scott helped me out when I was in a pinch on a small case. So if I get a small case, I'll send it to him. But if it's a bigger case, I'm going to give it to the guy on TV. That's certainly not what I'm shooting for, and I'm certainly hoping it's not what you'll do. But anyway, I hope your family and you are well. But if I can be of assistance, reach out. And otherwise, have a great day. Take care.